Pawn to d4. Wesley so freshly chaired goes for the Queen's Gambit. Carlsen choosing the Slav. e3. Many options now. Bishop f5, bishop g4, e6. Where champion goes bishop g4, opts for the pin and plays the most simplistic setup here. Gives up the bishop, puts his pawns on light squares. This line was fashionable like 12, 13 years ago. Fell a bit out of fashion then. I think people just concluded that the white two bishops had to be worth something. But it's not a bad blitz line, because the position is arguably easier to play. For black, CD, ED would give Magnus his beloved Carlsen structure. My guess is Wesley wants to do something aggressive like g4, h4, because here if he played slowly, like castles, rook e8, queen e7, knight e4, black should just be fine. So let's see if Magnus is gonna castle into it. He's gonna say, show me the money. Or if he will wait for Wesley to commit his king to either side. No, he castles. And Wesley also castles, not in the mood for any g4 shenanigans. But now black just has a decent position. Let's mention rook e8, queen e7. Before you go a6. Try to put a knight in the middle. This bishop can regroup to d6. It's perfectly fine for black. Starts with a6, just making sure b4, a4, b5 would take forever. Rook c1. Rook e8. Looks normal, but what do I know? Here comes the rook. Pawn to b4 anyway. But now there's this typical plan, b5, knight b6, knight c4. I'm not sure if you do it directly, or if you maybe wait and move rook c8, but then a4, b5. Yeah, he plays b5. Magnus knows it's Carlsen, but this knight, should it enter c4, typically, solves all of black's problems on the queen side. White is not in time here to stop it. If knight e2, rook c8, the knight will still come. Carlsen once again showing this is a structure he understands extremely well. Can't mess with him in the Carlsen. I don't know what Carlsen is. I guess it's a town in the Czech Republic where they had some famed tournaments. I could be wrong about the Czech Republic. e5 is suggested in the chat. I'm assuming you mean e4. There would be a typical reaction indeed. But after e4, black can go knight b6 anyway, then e5 move the knight, or he could just take everything. So I don't think it's that tempting here. Wesley goes knight e2, Magnus rook c8 would be the typical way to play here. Covers the pawn. Now after a4, you go knight b6. There's no stopping the horsey from making it to c4. Sloppy foreskin, beautiful username, is saying, so Jan does read the chat, always. Knight c4, bishop e1, knight e4. Magnus doing fine. Look at these knights. Knight c3. And the knights coordinate in a very nice manner. Bishop h6, hinting at sacrifices. On e3. Rook a7, trying to keep black sort of busy by also putting some pressure on f7. By rook c7, the pressure is easily dismantled. Even though engines might say this is equal, maybe they no longer do. Yeah, these positions are very, very dangerous for white. Long term, if there's no play on the queen side, this knight is super active. white typically ends up under some pressure on the king side. Pekko H, man of chess culture, saying reminiscent of Nikolic, Kramnik. Exactly, those are the classics. Nikolic, Kramnik, Portish, Kasparov. I forgot who this Petrosian game was against. But yeah, this is a dangerous situation. And Magnus goes for broke with knight takes e3. Maybe it's not even going for broke. Maybe it's just breaking through. Because after f takes e3, rook takes e3, a lot of things are falling. Queen f1. Queen takes d4. So Wesley can't really recapture rook e2. But once again, queen d4 just seems to target lots of stuff. This knight could also just move. But yeah, he goes for the takes. The hot takes is what he goes for. Just winning. 2 pawns up, active pieces. Another clinic in the Caspar structure. He's so good at these structures that Wesley really shouldn't give him this position after cd5, ed5. And Wesley so resigns here, just got outplayed from this point on. Which means the world champion up to 0